This My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Kinetic Performance, the makers of the Rolls-Royce of barbell monitoring technology, the GymAware. Guys, in season training, we rock the GymAware all the time for quite a few reasons. The first, of course, is just that, the ding. Every time the athlete hears that, they know that they're hitting exactly what we need from them at that moment. And when they don't hear it, it brings out that extra little bit of competitiveness within themselves. On top of that, that awesome ding ends out bringing together the athletes as well, pushing each other and getting each other to be able to hit numbers that they probably wouldn't hit at that portion of the year. And finally, of course, that ding helps us monitor, manipulate, and keep track of volumes and intensities so we can best dose our athletes during the season at the right time with the right amount. Guys, hop over to kinetic.com.au and check out what Evan and the team down there have, because this is absolutely a sensational product that's changed the way that we've trained our athletes. This edition of My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Valid Performance, the team behind the Nordboard, Force Decks, the Groin Bar, and Human Track. Guys, the most important ability for all of our athletes is availability, and that's the absolute goal of Valid Performance, is to provide solutions to performance professionals so that we can get the right information to make the right decision at the right time for the betterment of the athletes that we get to work with. To do this, guys, they have a wide range of validated products that focus on usability, and having been founded by the School of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at the Queensland University of Technology, they're extremely evidence-based and they're beyond transparent. I can tell you that our time using the Nordboard and being involved with Force Decks, we have been introduced to so many amazing people that have truly helped us become better coaches, have a better understanding, not just of the technology, but also what we're doing with our athletes. So make sure you hop over to valperformance.com today to make sure you check out what they got. It's going to make you better and to do better by your athletes. Hey everybody, if you enjoy the podcast and the content that it provides, make sure you hop over and check out the all-new Strength Coach Network. The Strength Coach Network is the combination of the CVA SPS community and the Rugby Strength Coach community, bringing you what is sure to be the internet's leading resource for continuing education for strength and conditioning professionals. Combining these two resources has allowed us to bring some of the best content from some of the best minds in the world together for your one-stop shop to better improve the continuing education for not just yourself, but your entire staff. Bringing together all of the lectures from the Rugby Strength Coach community, along with the lectures exclusively done for the Central Virginia Sport Performance community, and all the lectures performed at the Central Virginia Sport Performance Seminar, make this an absolute must for performance coaches around the world. The world-class lectures at the Strength Coach Network are not all that you'll see as well. The discussion in the forums and the support and the career guidance from some of the top practitioners in the world, from people all over the world, makes this an absolute must and a great place for you to network, learn, and grow as a performance professional. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com and use the code CVASPS, that's CVASPS, to get your 48-hour trial for only $1. We're sure you're going to find great value in the Strength Coach Network and are really excited to have you involved. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com and use the code CVASPS to check it out today. Hey, what's happening, everybody? DeMayo coming at you with this week's edition of My Thoughts Monday. And today, guys, I'd like to talk about something that we as a profession, and this isn't just strength and conditioning or sport performance or physical preparation coaches or whatever we're calling ourselves today, this is all throughout the sporting world. And I'd like to talk a little bit about discipline and accountability in the 21st century athlete. And I think that that's something that a lot of people are going to look at and almost look at that as kind of an oxymoron, right? Because, you know, we love, as us older folks are getting to that age where we're getting into the back in our day discussions. You know, those of us hitting 40 and up, talking about back in our day how things were great and how everyone was different. You know, we talk about that with these young people and these millennials and how they either don't work hard enough or they aren't disciplined enough, they aren't accountable to each other, and all this instant gratification stuff that gets in the way. And I guess that it was some of it. I hear what people are saying, and I don't necessarily completely disagree. But I think that really what it is they look at things in a different light than we do. And I kind of like some of the things that they do notice. And I notice this with some of the younger coaches that I get to work with too. One thing that I have noticed with these younger coaches and these younger people that we get the pleasure of working with is they're not very fond and they don't handle very well the idea of do what I say, not what I do. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, these kids, for the most part, these young people have views into our personal lives that we never had of our coaches, for the most part, right? Like, they can follow you on Instagram if you're on Instagram. They can follow you on Twitter if you ever tweet anything. They can, if you decide to allow them to be friends with you on Facebook, they can have access to everything all the time, at any time, as to what you do. So I guess one great example would be, like, if you want to sit here and talk to these kids about their social decisions during the week, but you're drinking beer and putting pictures up every night, what are they going to say? Are they going to look at you and be like, well, Coach so-and-so is 37, so it's okay for him, but even though he's got to wake up and coach, or she's got to wake up and coach, I should be better. Now, hey, did it. It was like that. I think more of that had to do with the fact of the injury that I went through and the surgery, kind of a coping mechanism. We could talk about that another day. But that stopped. That stopped for quite a while now, the midweek soda pops, if you may. Because we do want to decrease that with these kids. And we do want to lead by example. So I don't do it. I don't chirp at them when they go out on the weekends, though, because that's their time. They need time to be kids, right? We can't control them at all times, because the more you want to try to control them, the more they're going to want to rebel. So lead by example. And don't act in ways that you're telling them not to act. Another great example of this, and probably the best one that I've noticed, and really the one that drove the entire conversation, was we just got this new locker room for the coaching staff, and it's freaking awesome. It's super nice. It's super spacious. We're super spoiled. To be totally honest, we don't deserve it. But whatever. Thank you for it, whoever ended out building and paying for it, because it's sensational. There have been 3 things that have been asked of people, and there are people that don't follow those rules. The first thing that was asked was, please get your things off the floor so the custodians can do their job and keep this really nice place clean. There's 6 to 8 people that still put their shoes on the ground every single day. You would want to keep your locker at least somewhat neat and not just take everything and chuck it in there like it's a garbage disposal and you're just going to compact everything down. There's some people, we've had this for a few weeks, there's some people with so much stuff in there, I'm waiting for it to compact in sideways and hear Luke Skywalker and Han Solo screaming about how to get out of this thing. It's disgusting. But let me ask you this. If that's your team and you walk into your locker room and that's what you see, hell is going to be to pay, right? Those kids are going to be running. They're going to get cussed. They're going to be doing all these things. Shoot, I've seen coaches pull teams out of their locker rooms because they don't keep it clean enough. But we're going to chirp at them, but we can't for 4 weeks keep this place clean. See, those are the things that these kids catch. Whether you believe it or not, they do. Those are the things these kids can figure out. They know. They know how you act. They know if you're full of it when you're talking to them about acting this way, that way, or the other way. And then when you don't, and you wonder why the things that that you want them to do, that you think require discipline, that you're not doing, and they're blowing off, don't sit here and blame them. Look in the mirror, man. Like, take a step back and say, wait a minute. Am I asking them to do something that A, they don't need to be doing, first of all? Because we do that a lot. We ask these kids to do some things that really, I understand why they look at it and they're like, that don't make no sense. And then take a step back and look even further into what we're asking them to do and being like, wait a minute, am I about that life? Because if I'm not about that life, I can't ask them to be about that life. Because they're going to see right through this. They might buy in for a little bit. They may do it for a little bit. They may listen for a little bit. But eventually what they're going to do is be like, bro, this guy is full of it. Why do I got to act like that if this man ain't going to act like that? Or why do I got to do all these things if this person isn't going to do these things? Or she doesn't do that stuff. She doesn't watch this, that, or the other thing. Why do I need to do it? And sure, I can hear it right now. Well, I'm not the Division I athlete, or I'm not the professional athlete, or I'm not the person trying to play. Right. But you're the person trying to lead them. Lead with them. Don't sit there and tell them, do as I say, not as I do. None of this because I said so bullshit. That doesn't work anymore. You want her to be disciplined? You want her to be accountable? You say it starts in the locker room, right? With sweeping the sheds, if we all want to keep quoting legacy. Look at your locker first, dude. Is that clean? Is that good? Because you're chirping at your kids about it. So take a step back, look in the mirror, get that lined up. Because when that's lined up, they're more likely to listen to you and line themselves up too. As always, guys, truly appreciative of everything you do for us here at Central Virginia Sport Performance. We'll be back next week with another My Thoughts Monday. I'll see you then.